Hi everyone. So far we've been talking about just the tree shape itself, but that's not actually the way that we encounter these data, because we're going to encounter these data in terms of the sequence, and the trees that we're talking about are actually not things that we're going to exactly observe. The trees are what gave rise to the data that we see. But the data is concrete, we can observe it, we can have it on our laptop, and the trees are going to be kind of unknowable. We're going to constantly be talking about statistical distributions of sort of what we think the tree shape is. Let's get into what that's going to look like. I just want to concretize that. So we're going to encounter this data as something like this. So this would be 5 sequences, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with some number of changes. So what we're looking at here is sequence 1, and then to clarify things where sequence 2 matches, I've just put a dot, and then I've just emphasizes where there are differences. So here we see there are 3 sites where we have diversity. At this site there's either a C or an A, at this site either an A or a G, or in this site either a C or a T. And so then over here what we have is a tree that could explain this data. Here we have sequences 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so for instance at site 14, if the ancestor had a T, so this is site here, that's site here. So if the ancestor had a T, but then there was a mutation here in the ancestor of 1 and 2 from a T to a C, then we would see that sequences 1 and 2 have a C, and then sequences 3, 4, and 5 have a T. Actually, so a more simpler one to look at might be site 6, that's site right here. So now we have the ancestor had a C, and therefore 1, 2, and 3 have all inherited this C, and actually 5 has also inherited the C. But in 4 we have a change from a C to an A, so we see an A in site 4, and then C's everywhere else. Okay, so this is how we're going to encounter the data, but what we're going to be working on is looking at the distribution of tree lengths and mutational positions that can give rise to this data.